Hello, today we're going to do a little talk on talking to my guides. A lot of times we don't realize that we are in constant communication with our guides. I've always let people know, when you go pick out your clothes, you get a flash in your mind, right? And they're like, yeah, and you know what to wear for the day? They're like, yeah. It's like, well, what makes you think it's your ideas? A lot of times our guides will flash in our minds the clothes that we need to wear for protection, to look good. They're there to help us. Simple things like, oh, I wonder what color socks I should wear today. Should I wear the black ones, the white ones, or the red ones? And they'll show you red. So a lot of times it depends on what they show you. So those ideas and those flashes in our minds a lot of times are our guides helping us, even in simple ways. And it's important to pay attention to those things. And we always have that inner voice, and people are like, well, I don't hear my guides. And it's like, do you have that inner voice? If I ask you what color your shirt is, and in your head right away you hear, oh, I'm wearing blue. Well, that inner voice at first will sound like your own voice until you get used to it. And once you start paying attention to it and getting really confident with it, then you can ask that voice, can you please show your true self? Can I please hear your real voice? And then you'll hear your grandmother, your grandfather, your aunt, your uncle, maybe a great-grandfather, and they will step up and say, okay, you're ready to hear my voice now. And then you'll start hearing all of your guides. And if they come at you all at once, then just say one at a time. Please talk one at a time. And you make sure you ask them, are you of divine love, light, and energy? If not, leave now. Or are you from the light? If you're not, leave now. Spirits work on permission, and if you don't tell them to leave, they're going to stay. And if you don't ask them, they're going to stay. You only want to work with good spirits of the light. So, if they share stuff with you, you can ask them, is that the absolute truth? And if they say yes, that's the absolute truth, then what they're sharing with you is exact facts. There's no room for manipulation or bending it or trying to mislead you. When they talk in riddles, they're not good. You get rid of them. You call the angels down, you call your ancestors down to take them out, because you got to keep your spiritual self and your guidance safe. So my introduction to guides was pretty funny. I didn't realize I had it all the time. A lot of times trauma can really bring about a lot of pain and sadness, grieving, layers of emotion that come up later that are nonstop. And the flip side of that is trauma can bring out your gifts. I know the day Andriana had transformed home to the other side, I went to go lay down and take a nap, and I can hear all of these spirits talking around me going, Barbie doll, Barbie, I can hear you. Hey, she can hear us now. And then they started talking and laughing, and they were teasing me, calling me Barbie doll. And then I heard Grandmother Moon sing a song. It was more of an acoustic sound, noises that you would never hear on Earth, sing to me. And then I sat up and I'm like, okay, I'm hearing voices. What the heck's going on? So I got up, and I was talking to her spouse, and I told him what I had heard, and he was saying, Andriana had asked me to keep an eye out on you because she wanted to know what gifts that were going to awaken after she went home. And she was telling me that one of them was your ability to hear was going to become very clear. So after that, I was talking to my guides left, right, and center, asking them all kinds of questions, asking them questions in history and my family's history, asking them what's coming in the future. And they would answer me, and they would a lot of times in the future, they would only show me things that I needed to know. They never showed me the whole thing, which is okay. But they always guided me, and with great presence, and I was very protected by them. And even if I'm driving and I'm going to pass a semi-truck and there's a vehicle coming up ahead that I don't see and I think it's clear, my grandfather behind me will scream at me, no, stay in your lane. I'm like, okay. So, and they'll keep you safe. So they'll really help and guide you in a good way. So talking to your guides is important. It's simple to do. And even if you can't hear them, when you talk in your mind or when you talk to yourself out loud, they hear you. Even the silly thoughts that we have. I remember when Many Horses told me that story, it's like, oh my God, they heard all of my thoughts through this whole time, and they're like, yes, we did. There's no judgment on the other side. There's total understanding and forgiveness. And so when I had learned that too, I was like, oh my God, what about all those silly things I used to think about and all the silly humor I had? So I was like, please forgive me, please forgive me. And now they just laugh with me. Sometimes they're just as humorous as I am, so whenever I crack a joke, they're laughing with us. I can hear them. So spirits on the other side, they're there to help us, and it's important to talk to them every day. Even when we talk to them, it's another form of prayer. Even when we ask them for help, it's a form of prayer. So ask them for help. Ask them to guide you, to protect you, to keep you clear, to repel any negative energy, to send it to Mother Earth to be blessed and purified, to keep you on the light, to help you, to put gifts in front of you so that you can earn them. And anything that you need to help yourself, you can even ask your guides to go help your family member that's in another community, to go check up on them and to send them healing energy. And you can ask your guides to work with other people's guides so that you can get along. I used that many times with my kids growing up with bullies. We would go outside and drop tobacco and ask our guides, thank you Mother Earth, thank you Creator, thank you Standing Medicine People. I'm asking my guides to go talk to so-and-so's guides, that if they don't like me, it's okay. But if we have an opportunity to be good friends, let's be good friends. But if not, that's okay. I'm okay with that, but please be nice to me. And then we would drop tobacco. And within a week, the child would be nice. They would just, the bullying would stop. So you can do things in a really good, positive way to show your children how to help themselves that way as well. So it's really important to really keep in touch with your guides on a daily basis. And over time, with meditation, you can also earn your ears of hearing. Your spiritual ears, they sit behind your ears, and that's where you hear in your head. And you can also hear with your physical ears the more you meditate. I've been hearing monk music being sung to me the last 3 days, and when I found this song, I found the meaning, and it means to transform all old negative energy and feelings in the body to positive so that it could release. And I have been releasing a lot the last 3 days. So it's important, and in the times when I'm feeling and I'm releasing and crying, I say I cry to release, and I ask for my guides to put healing energy back in my body so I'm not constantly crying over the same thing over and over again. So everything that I release, everything that is coming up is a new layer of emotion and feelings that is coming up and leaving. So it's important to work with your guides in those times. And even in good times, don't just turn to prayer and your guides when you're having a hard time. They're there to help us. Sometimes they're sitting there going, okay, what am I going to do now? So you can send them out to go help the forest. You can send them out to go heal your friends, to go check up on your kids. You can do all kinds of wonderful things with your guides. They're there to help us, and they're just standing there waiting for us to ask us. They're waiting for us to ask them, sorry. So you make sure you take advantage of that in a good way. Always in a good way, because what we do for ourselves and others comes back to us. So if we always do good, we'll always get good.